very difficult to make a short video about something that is so important in our lives. They're very, very small, but their impact on us is so big. You've guessed it. Today is the letter C, and we are going to be talking about cells. Let's start by talking about the cell theory. This is a good basic starting point. This is the 3 known rules about all living cells. Number 1, all living things are made up of cells. Now, of course, we're talking about this planet only, because that's all we've studied. Number 2, cells are the basic unit of all living things. So this means it's the smallest part that still has a function on its own. So you can think of like a brick wall, and the basic unit would be the brick. Number 3, all cells come from other cells. So a cell can't just appear out of nowhere. It has to come from another cell. Now cells divide and make 2 cells, and then the 2 go into 4, and 4 go into 8, just like the bacteria. This is known as cell replication, or cell division. But cells are constantly being replaced. It's actually really cool and really interesting, but we're going to keep this video simple. Now the shape and the function of the cells depend on its location. For instance, the brain cell, also known as a neuron, is a lot different from a muscle cell or a skin cell. The job of the brain cell is to send pulses of information back and forth from the brain to the rest of the body. So the brain cells have to be very, very long so that it can reach those different parts. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when your foot hurts, it doesn't actually hurt at your foot. Your brain is sending a signal to make you think that your foot hurts. Now, pain is more to just let you know that something is wrong. So if you have a headache, don't just pop a pain pill and forget about it. Your body is trying to tell you something. But that's no reason to freak out. It could just be that you haven't had enough water, or that you've had too much water. Yes, you can drink too much water. It could be that you've had too much sugar or too much alcohol, or maybe not enough of a certain vitamin. Try to start actually listening to your body. It actually gives you a lot of information if you just listen. But instead, we just ignore it and go on with our lives. And all of this information starts and ends with our cells. Our cells have codes that tell them when to divide and make more and when to die. But just like humans, they can die sooner than expected, especially if we're killing them off. Now, let's talk about the organelles of the cell. This is the parts of the cells that helps it function. Now, let's look at this as like a community. There's different jobs in the city. The cell membrane is like the gate. It helps keep things out and keep things in. It determines what is allowed to leave the cell and what is allowed to enter the cell. The nucleus is the central control center, so it's kind of like the government of the cell. Mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. It makes and provides energy for the entire cell. The vacuoles are storage units, and the Golgi body, well, they're kind of like our mailing center. They prepare materials and chemicals for transportation. Lysosomes are like the recycling and the waste company. They help to break down bigger food into smaller pieces so that it's easier to eat, and it helps break down any waste, things that are no longer needed by the cell. And these little tiny round things, those are ribosomes. They are like the factories, just producing proteins. And proteins, as we all know, are very, very important to our bodies. In this cell community, the proteins are like the laborers. They're very, very important people that do all the dirty work around the cell. They help fight off the bad guys, like police officers. They help form new molecules, just like production plants. They're the messengers to help coordinate all the other jobs that are going around, so kind of like project managers. They help provide structural support, so kind of like your construction workers. And they help store and transport all the material within the cell, so kind of like UPS. Now, chromosomes, I'm sure you've heard of chromosomes. They contain all of your DNA. So they're kind of like the library, containing all the information of the cells. And there's a cell wall. This is just for extra security. But us humans are animals, so we do not have a cell wall. Now, we can move away from danger, unlike plants. Now, sometimes we don't always take advantage of that, do we? Now, this is very basic information. If you want any more details on any of these topics, let me know and I will try my best to do a video on it. I highly recommend that you guys learn more about cells. They are so fascinating and they're very important to life. all life. And a great way to find out more about cells is to visit this website, cellsalive.com. It's this interactive website with games, flashcards, quizzes, and more. It's a fun way to learn more about your cells. So instead of turning on a game or Facebook on your phone or turning on the TV, check out this website and learn a little bit more. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.